Charizard in
Oh,
half.
War
He
Greymon would
like
definitely.
legit tore him
I
in
was like,
half.
Greymon would probably like stand his own against a Charizard, but Greymon's not all that impressive.
Like
But
right as
War
soon as you hit
Greymon,
Metal
whoa.
Greymon, where he's got the titty blasters,
I can
he's
imagine.
done for.
I can imagine. Yeah, I was gonna
Titty
say I can imagine a
blasters.
Metal
It's
Greymon
awful.
just using his. What is it called? The
Terraforce.
How do I
system.
not? Yeah.
No,
No,
Terra
that's Force
Destroyer.
War
Terra
Greymon.
Destroyer. I think it's
Yeah, it
called
might be
Terra
Terra
No,
Destroyer.
I just lost 50,000 runes.
Metal Greymon's is like Giga Blaster or something.
Giga Blaster or Giga Destroyer.
Yeah,
or something.
Elgrimon's
Yeah,
Giga Destroyer, Giga Blaster. I know.
But yeah, those two nukes that fire out of his chest
Yeah.
would definitely decimate a fucking Charizard.
Yeah. By the way,
Very
I started
effective.
the recording. This is an FYI.
Maybe not
we
Mega
started.
Are you
Charizard.
serious?
Yeah, we
That's
started
okay.
like a minute ago.
Mac.
No?
Okay, well, do you want to introduce what this podcast is about?
I mean, I guess
Mac, and then
we
you
can. I mean,
introduce
if it's not obvious.
Go for it.
Everyone, we're going to be talking about Digimon here. So welcome to the Super Baker Bros show. We have JT here with us.
What's up?
Wesley Walker as a guest host.
Hello.
And then we have Woody at the rear.
Hello.
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 So obviously we'll be talking about Digimon, which is, I think, something that's very close to all of our hearts because we've all watched it growing up. No comment on that, really.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going for it.
I mean, I was
sounded like it was missing
pausing.
a punchline.
I mean, a punchline.
Started
What?
the
Yep.
thing.
It's far too near and
Yep.
dear to me to do a
Hearts.
punchline. It's just I love Digimon. I think we all do.
So
Far
I mean,
better than
I'm
Pokemon.
trying to think of where Digimon like really started for us, and I'm just gonna. I think it was just with
Fox Kids.
the first.
I was gonna say
season of
Fox Kids.
Yeah, Fox Kids. Yeah, that's gotta be
Where
it.
started.
Oh
If
yeah.
people can remember that.
So Wesley, our guest host here, is how old are you now, Wesley?
I am 17 years old.
17 years old, and
Mhm.
I remember like introducing Wesley to like the Digimon world, and I'm glad that Digimon has become something that to our to a couple of our other nephews, Pokemon is like they're in the forefront, but Digimon I feel like is more in the forefront for you. Is that, would you say that's correct, or?
I mean, yeah, Digimon became like the start of my whole anime path, and that's kind of a big thing for me. It all
Yeah.
started with Digimon.
So, what was your favorite, Wesley? Have you watched like all of the Digimon series now, or a majority of it, or which ones do you feel like you haven't
I've
maybe
watched a majority of it. I skipped season 4 because that's the one where they like turned into Digimon. I wasn't really into that.
Yeah,
I
Deleted.
watched
season 4.
the 5th one where the guy punched the Digimon. That was cool.
Is that
Like, yeah.
Data Squad?
Yeah.
I haven't watched Data Squad yet, but I want to.
Yeah, he punches Digimon to Digivolve. It's a little weird. I don't know why. They just try to make Digimon like cool for older kids that were growing up with it. And then I
Yeah.
watched part of the new Adventure 2020. I couldn't really watch it because it just felt very repetitive to the original series, but not quite as good. And then I watched the new Ghost game, which it was okay so
I
far.
haven't seen Ghost Game or the new 2021. Although I can say that what I've read about the new 2021 is that it is a very, like you said, that it could be bad because, you know, or frowned upon because it is redundant compared to the first series, but it's apparently like a fresh like reboot for similar to like what Brotherhood is to Full Metal Alchemist, the original series.
What me and Woody were talking about before we got started, before you guys finally showed up, is I was telling him that I think that the reboot is more of a reimagining, kind of, as you said, more like Brotherhood. And I think it's more of the line of, it's the show they wanted to do originally, but they couldn't do because of the new version is far more mature, like, they actually talking about Patamon having to get killed if they go evil. And because if you remember in Fox Kids, they would go so far as to redub.
They cut out,
lines.
like in Tamers in the 3rd season. There's a scene that was cut out where Beelzemon points his gun at like the kid's head, one of the Digitamers' heads, and that's not they like edited it where his gun's not lifted up. He's just talking to him, and I can't remember the scene, but I remember reading that it's like almost the scene almost doesn't make sense because he doesn't have a gun up to the kid's head,
The kid
and
is
so the
just
lines like
terrified.
are like what? Yeah, it's like he's like terrified for his life, but Beelzebub's just standing there for the English
Like,
version.
how do you feel about this?
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. It's like,
what's happening? Yeah, I'll do it. I think I will. I think I.
but yeah, so yeah, there are definitely
Yeah.
things they took out to make it more
Well,
tame.
even in the original series, it had when Myotismon first shows up, and he kills Gatsumon and Pumpkinheadmon, I think is his name. He actually says, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you now," and he like uses his ability, and they like die. And in the American version, it's, "Oh, you'll be sent to hell for, X amount of years," or Digimon prison, I think is what it actually was. It wasn't hell. Now I remember, it was Digimon prison. It was something like that, where you're just kind of like, "Oh, okay." And
That was
Oh,
a
so they're gone,
sad.
but they'll come
That
back.
was a sad scene.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. That was a
Oh, it
hard.
was.
That
So,
was like one of the
I don't-
first
so
like
cool.
heart pulls.
So a while ago, when I was looking into starting to collect Digimon cards again, which I did end up doing, and we'll
You got
get
the
to
new
that
ones?
later. But yeah, I have the new ones. And
Okay.
something that I came across though was a it was it was a comic like manga of Digimon that certain episodes that they or not episodes but different stories that they released for the Digimon manga. And one of the special stories that were released was that like they had a couple of like uh, kind of special guest artists do for this particular story arc was for that episode. It was in honor of that episode. It was the story of Pumpkinhead Mon and who was it?
Gatsumon.
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 It's just
And it
Pumpkin
was
Mon.
Oh, it is
Just
just
yeah,
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin
Pumpkinmon?
Mon.
No,
But
it's
Just
Gatsumon too.
you'd
They
have
were besties.
Yeah, well, no, I mean
he's...
it's not Pumpkin Headmon. It's
Oh,
yeah,
Pumpkin
it's
Mon
yeah.
and
Gatsumon and
Gatsumon.
Pumpkinmon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like Pumpkin and Mon. That sounds like awfully long name for a
That's,
Mon. But no, but they did this. They said, "Oh, well, this episode touched us the most. We want to do a story arc of these two." And the story is called, like, you can Google it, but it's like the Forgotten Heroes, Gatsumon and Pumpkinmon. But it's like crazy that that particular episode apparently touched a lot more people than even who I felt like was like such a sad ending for two Digimon. But
Well, that episode actually had a lot more meaning because that was like the main part, like Gatsumon and Pumpkinmon died, but that was also the same episode where you saw Wergarurumon for the first time, and that was like one of the coolest
No, it wasn't.
Metal.
Digivolution.
Isn't it Metal Garurumon on that
No, it
one?
was
It's not Wergarurumon.
it was Wergarurumon.
No, Wergarumon's
No.
first appearance was Digitamamon episode.
Yeah, it was Digitamamon.
I just watched it. I
Really?
just watched it
Yeah.
last
Well, it
night.
had
Yeah.
like a really good scene with Matt, at least.
Yeah,
was
it's
Yeah,
when he walks up with Metal Garurumon. That because first of all, it's not Myotismon that kills him; it's Piedmon. I'm almost certain, isn't
No,
it?
it's Myotismon. Because it's in the real.
I'm
It's in the real
gonna
world.
No, I'm
I have to
stopping.
pull it up on YouTube right now.
I'm stopping.
Okay, Mackie, you say what your piece.
It was Myotismon because they're hanging out with TK in the real world when they first go to the real world, and TK's hanging out with Pumpkinmon and Gatsumon, running away from Matt and goofing off when Matt's trying to be like the protective brother, like, you can't be running off on your own, it's too dangerous, yada yada. And Gatsumon and Pumpkinmon are like, oh, forget all that, have fun and be merry. But really, Pumpkinmon and Gatsumon have secret orders to capture or kill TK, and they decide like, he's really fun to hang out with, so we're not going to do that. And Myotismon shows up, and they're like, oh shit, it's Myotismon, what do we do? And they decide like, well, we can't just give the kids, so they start to fight Myotismon to protect TK, and Myotismon, of course, murders the hell out of both of them. And then as TK is like super sad and like distraught, that's when Matt shows up with Garurumon and chases Myotismon again away or something. I can't remember if Angemon shows up, but
I think he does for.
It may even be Angemon that shows up, because doesn't he gets separated from Patamon in that episode as well, and that's why he's hanging out with Gatsumon
Yeah,
and Pumpkinmon.
he's with Gabumon, Gatsumon, and Pumpkinmon, and then
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Patamon is with Matt, I think, and they're trying to find TK, and Gabumon is with TK. Oh, that's right, because TK
that's
and
why it
Matt
was important.
got in a fight,
I like how
and
we're recapping the whole episode.
they got separated with
great.
Matt being like, TK, you're such an idiot, blah blah, and he like storms off. Gabumon, like TK goes crying. Gabumon, being Gabumon, is like, whoa, TK, and chases after TK instead of following Matt. And Patamon is just, I think, gets lost and just follows Matt for some reason, if I recall. I might be wrong. But it wasn't Piedmon, and it wasn't Metal Garurumon that shows up.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was, because there's the real world.
It was Myotismon that kills him.
Yeah.
I'm mixing up the scenes with the Metal Garurumon scene. I'm mixing up is when TK and Matt are fighting and Puppetmon's involved.
No, it's TK
That's what I'm
and
thinking.
Tai are fighting, and Matt comes out of nowhere and murders or Metal Garurumon murders Piedmon, and it was kind of dark.
Puppetmon. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the episode I was thinking of when Metal Garurumon, like,
dude, when
Matt's like, nah, we ain't effing around. This is game time.
I feel like
oh yeah,
it's cool because it's like the show starts off so. Oh, what, JT?
I was gonna say when Waymon is killed by
Waymon's pretty sad.
Metal Siegemon.
Yeah,
that was pretty sad too. You're just like, ooh.
That one's just sad because it's like it was Waymon. I mean, it wasn't really that sad. It was honestly kind of sudden. So you're like, well, that happened.
Yeah, you're kind of more
you don't even get time. You don't even get time to like. They don't even get time to like really get like sad or
no, because Waymon survives for a bit because they do say goodbye to him because
yeah, but all he says is, "Don't worry, I'm gonna go be a Digigig," and then he disappears.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It wasn't as like heartstring pulling because it's like
it's been so long I don't remember these things happening. So when I'm a kid, I'm just like, no, I'm pretty sure
he's
he got
dead.
Shit, man.
he
disappeared.
By that...
He turned into a whole bunch of bits.
The saddest one is Wizardmon. Wizardmon straight up dies.
That one was also pretty sad.
Yeah,
Wizardmon protects. I think it's Kari that he gets in the way of, or it's Gatomon.
Yeah.
Or it's both.
I think it's Gatomon.
And he comes back as a ghost in season 2 as foreshadowing that Myotismon was going to show up.
Yeah, I'm rewatching him now because I feel like there is a. Wally was like, he just recently watched him on. He was like, even telling me like, yeah, remember that part where blah 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 kills blah blah blah, and it's like, oh man, that was messed up. And I was like, don't remember that. That sounds awful.
The other darkest death, I'd say, is when Mimi is on her own with Sukamon and what was the pink rat? And they're like trying to protect her. No, it wasn't Cherrymon. Yeah. But Piedmon shows up hunting for Mimi, and Sukamon tries to like stop Piedmon from hurting her, and Piedmon just throws like a knife at Sukamon, and he just disintegrates right then and there.
Yeah, just dust
kills him. And then the rat, the mouse thing, falls to his death. I think he's like running and he just falls.
Yeah.
Or Sukamon
because he starts freaking
out.
out.
No, Sukamon falls to his death because that's when the what are they called? The Infinity, the Dark Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dark
Masters.
And
they start to rearrange the digital world, and Sukamon falls into the cracks that are made, and the mouse guy watches Sukamon just disintegrate as he falls in. And then it's the rat that gets thrown with the knife from Mimi, and she like watches as Piedmon just murders this poor mouse.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of crazy how it starts off so lighthearted and gets so dark by the end.
Yeah, I think the Myotismon arc is when it first got like dark.
Yeah,
and it just stayed on a roll
definitely
there.
With Myotismon, and then honestly, Digimon
and I think Zero Two was. Yeah, I was just about to say
Zero
2 was like dark from the original. What?
I mean, kind of like think of all the people who died in 02. That the Digimon tamers had to watch like helplessly as an evil Digimon Emperor or someone like killed other people. Like I think it only gets dark in like the last few episodes when Myotismon shows up.
I think the situations that the Zero Two cast got into were a lot more dangerous than at the beginning than the original. Like they got like tied up with it
They got
wasn't
tied up all the time in the original, man. What are you talking about?
they got tied up like
Oh,
over the
yeah.
cliff, and now like
There was
they
an
could have
episode
died.
where
I don't know.
Sora gets kidnapped by Datamon.
Oh yeah,
and
that one was weird.
They get
Like
trapped.
even as a
Like
kid,
Ty is just walking through the barriers, like all nonchalant, like telling Izzy, "We don't have time, Izzy." And then Izzy stops him. He's like, "Ty, you need to stop. If you touch that and get in the wrong spot, you will die. Like this, just because we're in a digital world doesn't mean you won't die. You
It's
will
okay,
be
Ty. You'll
dead."
come back as a Digi-Egg.
And
Well,
like
he doesn't even
Ty,
say you'll die. He just says you don't know if you'll die. Like
oh yeah, and
he's
it
like,
just
I wouldn't test it. Like
Ty just
that.
has like
We're
a
not sure what happens.
huge crisis
And then
of
Ty's like, wait,
confidence, and
what?
he's just like, huh?
Yeah. You said we were disconnected, though. He's like, no, we're physically connected. We're just digital.
And then let's not even get started with Machine Ramon's arc, with Kari being sick and almost dying, and Kai
yeah.
thinking she dies when Machine Ramon nukes a city and then proceeds to kill all the Numamon.
So
I-
did you guys watch? Did all you guys watch Digimon Try?
I did not.
I watched
I
Try
watched
and
Last Evolution.
So you haven't watched Try. Woody, you did watch Try?
Yeah, it was slow, honestly.
I don't
Last
know.
Evolution,
It was a little slow,
I
and I feel like
tried.
it did play out slow, but I felt like it was very adult themed. Like it was very dark.
Well,
I
yeah, it was definitely
Yeah.
written for like the people that watched Digimon 01 and 02.
like
It
even when
was
I was
written
watching
for
it,
that.
I
That's
was
why it's
watching it with
Try.
my
It's the
kids
third
because I was like, oh well,
season.
it's a newer like art style. The kids would enjoy it. So I'm watching this, and like my Kuma like punches a hole in Leomon's chest, and I was like, oh shit, this isn't going how I thought it would.
Yeah.
Leomon always dies. You should have just expected it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, what I didn't
Digimon.
like was that they I don't know if there's like a series in between or something, or if there's pieces I was missing, but there were parts of that show that they did not explain
Like the
in
Adventure
Try.
2 cast, where you like at the beginning you
Yeah,
saw
the
them like
Adventure
fall
2
down and you
cast
all
is like
thought they were
missing.
dead, and you're just like,
Yeah, and then they were just like trapped by, and then all of a sudden it shows what's his Jedi, but Jedi's evil now. When did that
yeah,
happen?
that doesn't
I
really
don't.
make sense.
Yeah, that it makes. And then Jedi appears again in Last Evolution, and he's good again. So
Well,
I
I
was like,
think
what is going on?
was the try. I thought I might be
No,
mistaken, but I thought they claimed it as not canon.
No, it's
As like,
canon.
Oh, did
No,
they?
they claimed
no,
it as
no,
canon.
it's canon.
Is it
Last
canon?
Evolution takes place 5 years after Try.
hmm.
But
Yeah, I think they even say
I
it
thought
does
that
because
they
the girl's
explained
in
that
Last Evolution, Maikomon, and the
I
girl.
thought that in Try it was explained that it was a dark Jedi. It wasn't even like Jedi. It was
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
dark.
okay. Well, who the F is Dark Jedi and where did he come from and where did he go? Because he's just gone and they didn't fight him.
To be
He's just
fair,
like,
I wonder if
I'm
they
going to do everything evil.
let's be honest.
Never seen
Digimon
again.
does have the tendency to do episodes where like they have no follow up on. I can name like 6 where there was like, well, what does that mean? Like, for instance,
I don't know. You need to watch Try. They like
maybe.
do like a whole full like story arc with this guy, and then he
It was
just
cool
drops
seeing
off
all
the
the
face of the earth.
megas.
It was cool finally seeing the Mega evolve. That was something that was needed for a long time coming.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. And I didn't know if that was something that had previously been done when I
It's been
rewatched
done
the
in
No, that was
episodes.
games.
yeah, well, yeah,
Oh,
games.
yeah,
But no,
that's
this is the
true.
first time.
But I was like, oh, this is cool. These are all new guys. I've never seen these people before.
Yeah, like I knew who they'd become just from the games, but it never shown their Digimon reach
I
that
thought
level before.
Plesiomon was Gomamon's mega until I watched Try though.
Although it is
I-
confusing that Gatomon changes from Magnadramon in the movie to Ophanimon in Try. Bothered
Yeah.
me.
TK also
Those-
has like a beast one. I think it's called like Goldramon or something. He also has
Oh,
like
so
a
it's
weird dragon
or is
one,
it
but
Marine Angemon? Is that
Oh,
his
no,
beast form?
no.
I'm
That's the
helping.
strongest Digimon in the whole game. Unstoppable
Cool.
Marine
Speaking of, I
Angemon.
guess that
I mean-
leads us into a nice segue. Out of all the games of Digimon we played, some of us have played more than others. I think Wesley has played the most Digimon games. What's
Maybe.
everyone's
Oh, I'd say
Let's go through the
I'm
list.
probably up there. All right,
Go through the list. What's
Digimon World 1,
Yes, I
Digimon
played
World
that
2.
one. Yes,
I
I've played
played
that.
3, but I didn't get far into it. I
Yeah, 3
played
was weird. They
Digimon
had
World
gyms.
4. I didn't
That
like
one was
it.
also weird. You had a
They
sword.
had the weapons. Yeah, that was the one with the weapons.
What about DS
Digimon.
games?
I played Digimon World for the DS. Again, I didn't beat that one either.
That one was Digimon. Oh yeah.
Digital
That was
Card
like
Battle?
Yeah,
Digital
Card Battle,
I also played that
Rumble
one.
Arena 1 and 2. Me and Wally
Played
beat those two
I
together.
don't know if I think I beat them with one character, but I never like fully completed them.
Oh, we unlocked all the characters in both of them. Well,
Have you
Wally
played
did recently.
Digimon World Championship. I think that's a very like game, like
Oh,
a
that one
Digimon
I
game
don't
that
even
no
know.
one's heard of. It's like a
I was gonna say I
Digimon.
haven't even heard that.
It's really cool. It's a really cool concept. You go through like tournaments, and you train your team for
Well,
tournaments.
and then other than that, it's
Dawn and
just
Dusk.
cyber sleuths and hackers memory. So yeah, Wesley's got me beat.
And then
Got
I
me
also
beat.
played Redigitize, which is like the Digimon World 1, but they made like a new one. It was on PSP. You had to like get a English translation emulator. That was a pain in
Wait,
the
I thought
ass.
was that not Next Order? Next Order was originally PSP, and it was Digimon World.
I think he's
remake.
talking about a different one. I think.
Yeah, it's different.
It's a
It's
different.
different.
Oh, I
They
didn't
made
know
it for
that.
3DS too. It's like Digimon
Well,
Redigitized Decoded
you
or
guys have
something.
me beat because I only played
Yeah.
like
Oh
4
yeah, I've only
games.
played 4. I think I
Like
played.
Digimon World 1, 2, Digital Card Battle, and then Digimon Next Order.
Oh, I have
I
you
did
beat.
Platinum Next Order.
I
So.
I did not platinum next order, so you got me beat on that. But I have played 3.
I did not
Oh,
platinum Next Order
I played
either.
3 as well. I vaguely remember 3. It was like a turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I mean, Digimon World 2 was also turn based, so.
Digimon
Yeah,
World
it
3 is
was-
actually probably the most popular, which is weird because I feel like in our family it's like the least.
Yeah,
But that
that's
one
why
had
I think
Guilmon,
hackers.
whatever his name was, the red guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Guilmon, he's in 3.
Well,
That was his first appearance.
yeah,
in
I
the game.
think Digimon Cyber Sleuth, I think most mirrors 3's mechanic. Like it's a combo of 3 and 2, if I remember right.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is that I remember from Digimon World 2 the what is the thing you drive around in?
The
I can't
buggy?
remember what you call it.
Was it the buggy? I thought it was
Yeah,
Tank.
the buggy.
I remember mine was named November
So
2162 Zulu.
oh
That
really?
was the name of
What
my
I
buggy on
remember is I
Drive.
was like, man, it was really cool. I remember you had to like upgrade that every once in a while. It allowed you to go further into the dungeons and stuff. And then you said, yeah, Cyber Sleuth is pretty much this without the buggy. I was like, well, that's lame.
The buggy was
It's really not
confusing.
lame. The buggy was
I
so
know.
annoying. Oh, I ran out of
Oh, I ran
juice.
out of
I shouldn't have
gas.
explored so well. How
Yep.
dare
I
I?
should have
What
backtracked.
kind of game punishes exploration? What a joke.
One of the or not like mechanics, but one of the features in the Cyber Sleuth games that is like really cool is how the Digimon all follow you and they all have like really good sprites and stuff.
I
guess
know
not
that
sprites, models.
it's one thing I wish Pokemon would try to endeavor for a little better.
Soul Silver and Heart Gold had it, and it was awesome.
Yeah, and it was like, have you seen what was it that just recently came out? Oh, the Ruby, or not Ruby, Pearl and
Yeah.
Pearl and
Those
Diamond
games.
Wait,
remake. You can have the
what's this
Pokemon
new?
fall behind you, and they like don't move. They're just like a still animation floating behind you, like Rayquaza's just like that like posed dragon look, and he's just
And he looks
floating
small
around.
because it's all chibi,
Yeah,
however you
and I'm
pronounce
like,
it.
well, and like
What's the?
what,
I
JT?
really I hate Pokemon, so I don't really care what you guys are talking about Pokemon. So what's this new Digimon game that they're about to release?
Oh,
There's
what's that
2.
called?
It-
Digimon
it's
Survive?
coming out.
Survive. It's a
And is it a
tactics game, is what I
MOBA or
read.
what?
That's all I
No, it's
know.
a
No.
Tactics.
So Final Fantasy
God, what I
Tactics,
give for a
but
MOBA game that
Digimon.
wasn't a Pokemon one. And I actually was looking forward to the Pokemon release MOBA, but
sucked.
it is
It's
so
so
easy. It's like
boring.
so dumbed down
I
for
like it.
children
It's,
that
I mean,
it's
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 definitely
not.
Oh, it's
for kids. I
Pokemon,
played
man.
well.
it's not a MOBA that you can like play, and it can't be like your main game. That's a game you play when you have like some friends over and you're really
What game
bored.
do
Oh
I want
yeah,
to play that I
it's
know I'm
so
gonna
fast
win
paced. It's
playing?
almost dumb.
It's like
Yeah,
not even
well, it's not even that
competitive
you
either
win;
because
it's that you don't even
it's so
care. It's just
easy.
like a 6 minute match, and so you're like, "Oh, did we win? It doesn't matter.
The
Let's get in
idea of
another
it
one."
was so
Okay.
No,
cool. They could have
no,
done
I even
so much with
started.
that game.
Yeah, I even started doing like for a while there. I played the tournament because once you get to a certain level, you can play tournament style. And even the tournament level, it's like it plays the same as like the normal versus. Like it's not. No one's any better about their tactics. Like it's not
Oh yeah,
like
I'm sure.
playing Smite
Not itching,
level
getting scratching
competitive.
that smite itch you have.
No,
There we
it
go.
I gotta
wasn't.
get
It
some more
wasn't.
smite, man. You
I
got,
need some
you
Smite,
gotta play some
man.
smite.
One in the
I just
Smite.
want to get killed by some people.
Gotta get that
But
combat high.
yeah, that does bring me to a point me and Wally discussed when we were playing the Rumble games, because the Rumble games, if you remember, were pretty fun. They were Smash Brothers before we had Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And how cool would it be if they did make a new Rumble arena, Digimon Rumble arena, with all of the Digimon in it?
There
Like,
was one
All
that
the
came out for
Digimon? Oh,
PlayStation 4.
I don't
was
know about
there? Did
that.
it have?
Yeah, it had but it was like the fusion guys, so no one cared.
No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, like all the main entry,
I think
cool
it did actually
guys.
have like Agumon, Gabumon, and all them. It had the main 8, but it also was like centered around whatever Shoutmon, I
Now,
think he was called.
I
Oh
can
yeah.
vaguely remember Rumble Arena. So, did you like warp Digivolve like while you were fighting and stuff?
I
Yeah,
think
Yeah, you had to.
so.
So in Rumble
gotta
Arena
grab
2,
the
it worked.
orbs.
Yeah, in
That
Rumble Arena
seems
2, you had
so
to grab
gimmicky to
orb,
me.
and then when you got enough orbs, you evolved to the champion form and stuff. But I liked it better in Rumble Arena 1, because in that, it was like the better you were doing in the fight, your energy bar filled up.
Yeah,
And
that's
once
what
it
I
filled
remember.
up, you used it as like a super, and it didn't last forever. It only lasted like 20 to 30 seconds.
Like I
Then you
feel like it would
de-digivolved.
be better if I feel like the game would be better if you started out at like your max form, and then if you use like certain like there's like a stamina bar that you would be at a lesser form for X amount of seconds if you know were I just
I mean,
didn't like the idea of being normal fight like you're starting out as your rookie guy and then you get your
that's how the
warp
real
digivolve.
show is. That's
I
the
know,
show,
but
Jade.
it's just no way that it's going to work for Digimon style. That's why, and maybe it's
It
just me
worked. It
like
was a great
in a
game. What are you talking about? It
I
worked
hate
great.
I don't know, man. I
I
hate
think
like
At Rumble
PvP.
Arena 2, I did not like the mechanics of that one as much, because that one
I
it
just
was
hate
like,
all Street Fighter like games. Like, can I just say that? I just
you don't like Smash Brothers?
I don't like button mash games. No.
Huh,
No,
No.
I don't.
Well,
you know.
to each their own. You're
But
wrong though.
let's be
But to each
honest,
their
You're
own.
wrong though.
Digimon World is
Wrong.
the best of
Wrong.
all the games. Everybody else can just.
Digimon
Would
World
a
1 or
Digimon World
Next
1?
Order.
I
I'd
honestly
say
would say I
World
think I
1.
like
I would
Next
say
Order
next order.
better.
I think I like
I
next order.
I'm
I like
biased to 1.
ones
I
because of its
like one. Don't get
difficulty.
me wrong. One set the precedence of like that was a defining game for me when we played it. Remember, we like rented it from Blockbuster, Mackie. I think it was
Oh yeah, I remember
me and
that.
you, or me and JT. And then we rented it like 6 times in a row, and I eventually talked Dad and Mom into buying it on eBay, and they mailed it to us. And later on, I think we got Digimon World 2 the same way.
Yeah,
But yeah, we got
Yeah.
Digimon World 1, and then we like
Although I remember
played it.
like
I still have
we'd
the
have
Oh,
the
I still have
Digimon
a
World
disc of
1
Digimon
case.
World.
We would have the Digimon World 1 case and be like, oh yeah, I'll play Digimon World 1, that's fun. And you'd open the case and Digimon World 2 would be in there, and you'd be like, man, fuck this
Oh
game. I
hell!
oh, it was even worse.
don't want to
You'd be like,
play this.
I want to play Digimon World 1. You put it on the PlayStation, and
The red screen will
then
come up.
nothing. It never loaded.
Yeah.
It just goes to your
You would
memory
just have
card straight.
the Sony diamond in the background, and you just stay on that, and you're
Um,
like, all right, any second now.
all right, where's
Second
the disc
hello.
doctor?
Hey,
Oh,
Where's the
the
disc
disc
doctor, guys?
doctor.
hey,
Oh
disc
jeez.
doctor, let me just
Grind my
destroy
disc
my
away.
disc to play it for 30 minutes.
It would destroy
Dude,
the
those things
disc
really did
because
destroy it.
we would
Do you
we were
guys?
using it wrong. We would reuse the same padding, and you're supposed to switch it every other disc, and we'd be
No,
using the
the way
same
those
one
things
like
work,
7 times.
Dude, I don't know,
that's
man.
true,
If you go
but
and
those
watch
things
a
are
YouTube
made to
video of it,
just
those
scratch
things
the
would
disc away.
destroy. Yeah,
I
it
mean,
literally
this
eats
is
away
true.
at the layers
Buffs
of
a layer
data.
away.
I mean, again, that adds to
Yeah.
the point. We were using it like we scratched the disc so many times.
Yes,
We
we
had
were
to use
using
it
it.
like 6 times on the same game to the point where there was
my
nothing left.
My SD card isn't reading right. Let me get a tiny
Hey,
file and file away at the
G-
gold pins.
JT, is this disc supposed to be half the width of the other discs?
Oh yeah.
I can see through
Like
the
thin.
game's art from the front side.
Sir, why that's been fixed with the disc doctor about 80 times. So yeah, it's supposed to be like
But
that.
yeah, so I was gonna say one reason why I don't like Digimon World 1 as much is because when we played it on disc, it had so many issues, like things would skip, things wouldn't work. Then finally I was like, sweet. I hacked my PSP. I've got a ROM of Digimon World 1. No disc skipping. It's not even a problem anymore. It's installed. All those glitches are part of the game. It's not even like a
Yeah.
disc issue. That game has so many messed up
You
bugs
can't
and
mention
freezes.
ROMs on a podcast.
I can mention ROMs.
don't
I
think you
paid for the
can.
game legally
I
like
paid-
I guess
6
that's
I
times.
paid for the ROM.
And,
Yeah.
Actually,
I
this is
bought
actually
that
and
game
like
not only did he
times.
pay for the ROM, but he made his disc image copy from that very same disc. We
Yes,
can
that's
prove
what I
this.
did. You're absolutely
Yes.
right. He's
That is
not
exactly
lying.
what I did. No
Uh,
copyrights were involved.
no,
But yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's why a Next Order cleaned all that up, spruced it
guess
up with a
that's
whole new roster of Digimon.
I just didn't
Otherwise, it was the same game.
like how easy
Digimon World 1 had
Next
more
Order
character.
was. No, Digimon World Next Order had more character, not characters.
Like, no, I mean just the way the characters interact with each other was so obnoxious, but just so funny. Just the crazy reactions of the main character whenever
I
Ogremon would
will
show up and he would jump super high. That was hilarious. And
admit that
just-
there were times where. Sorry to interrupt. Go on.
No, you can go. You can go.
Let me
Uh,
just
uh,
start my sentence, then tell you to go on. Oh,
Yeah.
you don't want to continue? Oh, well, then I will.
That was the best interruption ever. Fully.
Oh, did I
completed-
derail your
done interrupting
train?
you, and then, well, hold on. Did you have a point?
Now hold on.
Because I'll let you finish. But you've probably forgotten by now what you were
Anyway,
talking about.
so Wesley, finish your thought. Oh, that's right. You don't have
yeah,
one
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
What I
Train
was
is now left.
going to say though,
All right, Matt, continue
Quite-
your interruption.
quite rudely interrupted Wesley, I realize now, is they did have some. I did enjoy the writing for Digimon World, the OG one, better. Because, there would be those funny comments that me and Woody loved from, even the movies where it's like, oh, sorry, I was sleeping, but you're driving. There was plenty of
little
those in
jokey comments.
Digimon World where that happens, when one of your Digimon that can fly falls from the canyon. They make a comment because you take damage, but they don't, and you're just like, well, why didn't you catch me? And your Digimon doesn't answer. It's just it just kind of makes a
Yeah,
weird
the lack
shrug.
of programming sure gives it character.
Yeah.
Also, I know this may be weird, but the poop scene in Digimon World Next Order was the most disappointing thing. I miss seeing Leomon.
Rockets?
Yes,
Oh,
I miss
okay.
seeing Leomon go every time he shed. That was hilarious. That made my day.
How dare you let me shoot my pants? This
That
is
is
your
true.
fault.
In fact, it wasn't until 60 hours into Digimon World Next Order did I actually realize that when they poop out in the open, it is
Disappears.
it's covered up and stuff. I was like, oh, I didn't realize because I was trying to
Well-
build tamer mistakes and so it covered up. But then the poop is still there out in the field, so I guess that was nice. I get to look at his glorious.
But you
shit pile.
don't. It goes when your Digimon turns into an egg again when they die. it disappears. While in the
Yeah, I know.
original Digimon world, it
You
was
had to
so
get
fun having
Sukamon.
shit everywhere.
You
No,
could
you have
just
to get
have
the
like
Sukamon.
I know, but
let's go to the local shithole and just go down to the lake where
What's-
Seedramon
yeah,
lay
but
and just pollute
like
it with
Wesley said,
shit.
the bar fills up.
What's
The bar
funny?
filled up, and then
You gotta get a
I'll save this
Sukamon.
for my Numamon run.
do you guys remember? Was it Mackie or was it you guys or us when we first played Digimon World 1? We didn't know there was toilets, so we'd take them out to the woods to shit. And we're like, man, they just keep getting angrier at me.
I think I do.
I do
We
not
just didn't
remember that,
understand the
but
mechanics, and we're
I
like just
vaguely
taking them to the
remember that.
grass. It's like,
Well, maybe if
where
I
do you
take
want
him
to
I
put
see
them?
all these random toilets everywhere, but I just don't know what to
No,
do with my
well, remember
Digimon.
in Digimon World 1, the toilet didn't really look like a toilet. It looked like a closet because it was Japanese. It was supposed to be like a Japanese toilet. So it wasn't a bowl like we're used to. It was just like a
floor.
box. Yeah, it was like a hole in the
Oh.
ground. So it was like,
didn't
I didn't know that was a
I
toilet.
think this was like the first few hours of playing the game, though. Like eventually we caught on.
Yeah, we figured it out pretty
Oh,
quick
that's
when
what
we
it's-
walked
what-
by it and it triggered it. But
I think was
still,
always hilarious was seeing the crap turrets just by the toilet. They would just pollute near the toilet.
Oh,
Like
those were
clearly
always so
you
sad.
were on your way to the toilet,
I was trying to make
but
the toilet and didn't.
you were stopped.
You-
Sure.
you shitty Digimon.
So I never got to play as Numamon or Sukamon in World or Next Order.
Yeah, it's hard to
did
get
they
that one.
did they eat did they eat them or
No, because it's so
'cause they were
once
gone?
you
I guess
once they're gone, they're gone. So you can't. I don't think you can even eat them. I never got Sukamon without using an item because in Digimon World 1, it was hard to not get Numamon.
Not get
Yeah.
In
Numamon. Yeah,
Digimon
hard not.
Next Order, it was almost impossible to get Numamon.
See, when I played back when I was like Chandler's age, I thought not getting Numamon was hard, but now I just like have this like weird thing in my brain where I can never get it even if I try because I just like get my stats a certain way and it feels wrong if I don't just from like muscle memory.
No,
Yeah,
you'll
it's
still get
easy.
them.
On Digimon World 1, you literally just stand there
Just
until
get
they
all
turn
your
into Numamon.
just get all your stats at like an even 200 and you'll get Numamon.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
right.
true. In Digimon World Next Order, if you get all your stats in even 200, you'll get like Saber Dramon or Black Garurumon or whatever. It's like there's so many easy to get champions that's
Which is
it's hard
funny
to get
because
Numamon.
in that game it's easy to get the dark versions, like the dark rookie versions, but then the dark versions that are like mega and above, I felt like they're still
Mega and above.
much harder to get.
It depended on the Digimon for sure.
Yeah.
Another
Like
thing
Black
I have
easy. Oh, go ahead.
is Black War Greymon easy? I think I
On
got
Digimon
Black
World
War Greymon.
Next Order. Yeah, he was
One
an easy one.
One thing I really liked about Digimon World 1, and one thing I really disliked about Digimon World Next Order, was in 1, there were a lot of secrets that, like, you just couldn't find, even if the guides didn't really tell you, and I thought that was just really cool to, like, find out, like, when me and my mom played, we, like, beat the game back when I was in, like, 2nd, 3rd grade together, we played, and we got Phoenixmon once, and that was just, like, crazy to us, because we weren't trying to, and that was one of the coolest feelings ever. And like getting Frigimon and stuff, I had no clue how because we never looked up guides. He's just like in the locked igloo.
Yeah, we had an official strategy guide. If you guys remember, I don't know if Mackie
I'm pretty
did.
sure that thing was very
I
accurate.
have it still.
Yeah, it was.
I still have it.
inaccurate. Yeah, and Mega Seedramon and Phoenixmon both say like top secret.
Question mark,
It's like,
like,
okay, that
all
just means
across
you couldn't figure it out either, you assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I just
like
remember a whole bunch of question marks for their things. Like it just shows
Yeah.
question marks all over that page.
I will say that feeling on Digimon World 1, I never got this on Next Order, but on Digimon World 1, when you had a champion, and then the bubble would appear, and your heart would stop when you'd be like,
Yeah.
is he dead, or is he Digivolving? That's
And
what
it would show that little sign of him digivolving. That was kind of cool. Like I do miss that.
Because it was so
And then-
slow too. It wasn't even like high pitched or
like slowly walk
Let
up
me
to you
think,
all
do I want to
sad.
kill you or
You're
let
like,
you
"Oh, no."
digivolve?
Then you'd see the little ball turn into a buff man, and you were like, yes!
Yeah.
But
All the
again,
buff man.
in Next Order, you're guaranteed to get ultimate no matter what.
Are you?
I don't
No
think
matter
you're
what, you're
It's not
guaranteed. I think it's just very,
guaranteed,
very
but it's
hard.
very easy.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it's
sure
very hard not
guaranteed.
to, just like Numamon. I don't think it is guaranteed. I
look
read
up.
you can
I'm
die
gonna
as a
look
champion. It's just
No,
that
you
it's
can
the
absolutely die
way
as a
the
champion.
key points works in Digimon Next Order. It makes it so it's hard to not qualify for at least one ultimate.
Yeah, because in Digimon World 1, to get the point for stats, you need every stat. It's not like each
Yeah,
stat
it's
was
not
its own
every
point.
stat, but it was like way more strict than Digimon.
And
Next
also, you
World
had no
Order
idea,
was.
like
And you had no
in
idea
Next
of what it
Order, it
was.
shows you when you're close, but in
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you see the key
Oh, you're right.
points
You're
thing
right.
highlighted,
Champions.
Yeah, even if you
You're
don't
stuck.
have the key points
You
unlocked,
guys are
it'll
right.
still highlight as gold. It'll be question marks, but it'll highlight as gold.
Oh, does it? I never
I'm
noticed
pretty sure.
that.
yeah, I don't notice that.
But Digimon
I
I
guess.
World
know.
I
1
guess
is
that.
just throwing darts with a blindfold on.
Well, apparently it's no different because in Digimon World 1, if you weren't meeting any criteria, you would get the Numamon for your champion. So that's the only difference. If in this game you're guaranteed to get a champion, and it's probably not going to be Numamon, and then your champion will, if you don't meet criteria for ultimate, it'll die in 15 days or something like that, is what it says right here.
Yeah,
So-
but that
15.
criteria is so light that you're
Oh,
almost
yeah.
certain to get ultimate by that point.
And there's so much
That's
more
what I mean.
Digimon to Digivolve too, so it is easier in that way as well. Like, oh well, the criteria is a lot more different when it's easier to Digivolve anyway in the first place. So
Exactly. That's why it's not that you can't get ultimate, it's that you have to go out of your way to not get an ultimate
yeah,
in that.
yeah,
You have
really
to
do.
try to die. Trust me.
No,
I've
I
done
remember
it.
on my
You still
first
get to
Digimon,
before that.
I tried very hard on Next Order, my first Digimon, to get a Mega, and I was unable to do it.
I got
Very-
one. I got
Oh,
Mirage
really?
Galgamon.
Yeah, Mirage Galgamon. He's like the easiest to get in the game. That's who I got. I got
can't
Blue Marimon,
remember.
who turned into Mirage Galgamon. And that's who Wally got for his first one too. Blue Marimon turned into Mirage Galgamon.
One of my favorite moments for Next Order, I can say that when I beat the game, when I went to go fight Omegamon's Alter
Zwart.
B. No, it's Omegamon's Zwart D is the
Yeah,
kind of
you're
the
talking about
evil
Alter
one.
B.
Alter
B
B is the
the
ultimate version, yeah, the super badass version anyway. So when I went to do my Alter B fight, I went in with and I had them at 100 whatever partner connection, so I can do my Mega Digivolve because I didn't know what they would Digivolve into, but I took in a black War Greymon and a black metal Garurumon. And so when I went in there and did the fight, I recorded it and then I went to Digivolve and they Digivolve together into Omegamon's Wart D. So I totally fought Alter B with his Wart D. So it was kind of cool.
Did any of
Yeah.
you guys
Also,
ever get on a death loop where you just kept dying? Because I walked, it was the black Greymon and the black Garurumon, and I was not ready for them. I just talked to them because I thought it was just a talking thing because you can never tell if it's a battle or
Oh
not.
yeah, yeah.
I got into a fight with them and I couldn't lose because anytime I die, it would be like, no, you're not dead. You're just digivolving, cross evolution. And that was the stupidest thing. I literally died like 5 times and ended up winning just because it wouldn't let me die.
hey man,
Oh
I thought
really?
the
Yeah.
cross evolution thing was the
I
coolest
love that. It
thing
saved me a
ever.
couple times.
Well, wait,
That was awesome.
especially when I
the
first
death
played
one.
the game. Yeah, when I
And-
first played it, I remember, and I died, and I didn't even know that was a thing yet when I first played Next Order. And then the drop happened. It was like, "Doop," and I was like, what? What the hell's going on?
Song
Doom, doom.
plays.
And then the music
Your
kicks
heart.
up. It's like,
No,
oh
first
shit,
your heart thumps with your Digi device.
yeah,
It's
your
like
Digivice.
boom,
And then when that happened, I was like,
boom.
no way. And I think Wally
What's
was
going
watching me
on?
too. And Wally like looked at me and he was like, hmm? And then that happened. I was like, dude, this is like the movie right now.
Yeah, even after completely getting that
Plat.
entire game kind of done platinum and everything, and you have to digivolve a lot to get the platinum for that game. But even after digivolving all those times, for whatever reason, when that music kicks in and you're doing your DNA digivolve, it's still just so cool to like. They couldn't
feel
have
so
chosen a
badass.
better song to do.
Oh,
Yeah, my kids love it every time that I did it. I couldn't, even after hearing it 100 times, I can't even right now give you a fake display of what that sound, the music is, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. You just
Woody,
gotta look it up.
did
Next order.
Digimon try?
Digivolution.
You told me that in that show it shows them the full length animation for whenever they digivolved, and they
Yep.
would play a song, but I don't think it was that
Yeah.
song.
It was it's the butterfly
Yeah, it's
remix.
just
Yeah,
Butterfly.
from that.
and you said it was just like not as cool. Like they should have gone with the song from next.
Yeah,
Order.
it's not as cool as the one from Next Order. I think the Next Order Digivolution and like the DNA song was way more like, I don't know,
doesn't it
upbeat and
bring you?
like
It
I'm about
totally
to kick
gives you
your ass.
like, yeah, it brings you like the same feeling that you get when you're watching like the Digimon movie for the first
Yeah.
time. You know, when you're
That's what I
watching
mean.
them.
That's why I was like, I felt
Omnimon,
so
like
cool
turning
when
into Omnimon, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm watching it in real life. You know?
You've
the only
got
downside is I think
mail.
my first EXC Digivolve in
Yeah.
Next Order, the cross evolution, was like Gallantmon CM. So I was like, when it happened, I was like really excited. But then when I saw it, I was like, oh well,
Mine
that's
was
still cool. But
Omegamon Sort, like the
see, now
dream
that
one.
would be cool when I got like those cool ones like that, the ones that you're
It's
like,
so
whoa.
random though, because I didn't even have like Dark Digimon at all. It just like
I know
it really
it's
Some of them
confused
are
totally
me.
random.
it's
No,
like
well,
it's
I'll
not
tell you right
random. It
now,
is
when you
It's
set.
not
yeah, it's not
random,
random.
but
When you've
it's
Digivolved 200
yeah.
or 400 freaking times, you'll know, like,
What I
you'll know exactly who you're getting
what I
before you
meant by
do it.
random is that it's random with like what mega they chose you turn into or
Yeah.
EX mega.
Anyone can EXE in battle. It doesn't matter who they are.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
who it
correct.
is set based on one of the two.
Who they are,
Like
yeah, one of the
usually if
two.
you have
The
Gallantmon,
most,
you're getting Gallantmon CM or whatever it is.
yeah, if the
Crimson
most
Versus
Mode.
random
BM.
pair, I can say
The
that the most
Crimson one,
random
yeah. It's
pair was like, um, Gigi, is that how you say his name? Gigimon?
Digimon, yeah, the one that turns into like who is it?
Yeah,
Digimon.
he turns
It turns
him
into
and it's him and one other like really like obscure guy turns into uh what is the
I
demon
can't remember.
version of whatever.
Belphamon, right?
Yeah, Belzamon. Yeah,
Belphamon BM,
Belphamon BM.
Oh, the
the
giant
giant
demon
bear
bear.
demon.
Yeah, that one was
Yeah.
Yeah, the
always that one
giant
has the
demon,
weirdest
and it was like
evolutions.
no, because most of his evolutions are like from Belphamon SM, like his sleep
The
mode, right?
sleeping
I
mode.
mean his
Yeah,
extra
where
But
he's
no,
a
ones
this one
baby
is
bear.
like
were on.
Gigimon and just some I can't even remember who it is. It's so random. But you're
I
like
remember
watching
because
those
that
two go
Was it
together and I was like,
Lilithmon?
"What the hell? Did I just
It was
well, what's weird is what you're talking about, JT. That's an actual like because there's a cross evolution which is done in battle, and then the DNA
Yeah.
evolution which is the same thing but it's permanent and it's done outside of battle, and that is like there's only like 10 possible combos to get each of them. And yeah, the one you're talking about that's like Digimon, and I don't remember. It's on my guide I wrote. I recorded all the possible DNA evolutions,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's Digimon and somebody else, and it's like becomes Belphamon.
I think
Or
it's
Belphamon.
I know
what?
Lilithmon is one, and that was like the weird flower. It was like an evil version of Lilymon's evolution.
Rosemon.
Yeah, Lilithmon is awesome. I love Lilithmon.
And I got her once, and then somebody else did cross evolution into Belphamon, and I was just
Brin-
shocked. And I was like, I did
Brinley
not see
loves
a giant demon bear coming from this.
Yeah.
So Brinley became obsessed with Rosemon. I got Rosemon once and she was like,
That's what it was.
"Oh my gosh." And then when I
She's beautiful.
when I cross evolution Rosemon into the white Rosemon or Rosemon
Yeah,
RN or
burst
whatever.
mode. BM,
Yeah,
I think
burst
it is
mode
burst.
BM. And when I got her, Brinley was like, "Oh my gosh, cool, white Rosemon." But then when I eventually got Lilithmon, Brinley did not want anyone other than Lilithmon because she was like
She's
this
Lilith.
dark, voluptuous, like
Yeah,
whatever
big titty.
chick. Yeah, no,
What?
seriously, you're just like, okay, if I was a teen and I was alone in a room, I could do a few things with this
Whoa,
Lilithmon
what the
character.
heck? It's just data, man. You can't do that.
It's just data. You just, yeah.
Have you seen her
When I was
rookie
young,
form?
like, have you seen like,
Like Black Gatomon.
yeah.
Meow.
one Digimon from like a regular Digimon adventure that I feel like needs to be in some of these games is Waru Monzemon, because they all have
Oh,
Monzemon in
right.
them. But Waru Monzemon's so badass. Like when you
He was in
fight him in
Digimon.
01,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can't even
that's like
So
remember.
bad.
such a
Digimon
cool
Digimon.
scene.
He's
You
like
go
the
through like the
evil black
puzzle.
Monzemon. Yeah, I haven't seen him on anything
Oh
except like the
yeah.
cards. You can
He's
get the
so
cards with
cool.
him on it all over, but he's like only in Digimon World 1. It's weird. As like a usable. I think he was a card in Card Battle as well. And I think you can get him in the Cyber Sleuth games, can't you?
Yeah. No, I think he's a card in that one. Or like one of
Oh,
the
he's
So-
memories
not
or
a
whatever. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
About-
so. The medals.
I have a
That's what they were.
hacker's memory. It just had a lot.
About the cards, yeah. So why aren't you guys collecting?
Because
Why
I don't
Man,
want to
why
collect
aren't
a
you
bunch of
encouraging
cards.
your- And if you have kids and that's your excuse, why aren't you encouraging your kids to collect Digimon cards instead of Pokemon cards?
My kids just aren't into him.
Yeah.
all 7 of them.
Hey,
I hope you
I
don't
mean,
have kids.
I tried to get Wally to do even Pokemon cards for a little bit, but he's like, he likes the game, the card game, but not the collecting as
Well,
much.
I haven't gotten a chance to play the Digimon card game yet, as far as a digital card battle. And let's face it,
It's nothing
a
like
lot
digital
different.
card battle.
Yeah, digital card battle, like that digital card battle, like could only work in a digital world. Like press X,
Against
square, or triangle.
NPCs, you mean? If it was versus
No.
a real person, it would never work. Like
Well,
half the
yeah,
battles
you're
would
just
not
like,
work.
Dude,
oh,
those
I
NPCs
chose.
were
Oh,
hacking.
you won't
That's
see
a
this
bummer. I
coming.
chose
One of 3
triangle.
attacks.
One of my 4 attacks.
No, because you could just say oh no, I actually chose circle, not X.
Yeah,
I
I didn't
chose-
use
Bummer.
X.
I chose to
It's like a
counter
rock,
that
Oh.
paper,
ability.
scissors.
Oh, you used
Oh,
square?
you
Oh,
use circle?
sucks,
Well,
'cause
I
used
lied about
X.
using X. I used triangle.
Unless it's like a token that you had to like put down that they couldn't see, or a card, something that they didn't see until you flipped it over. That's
Or
the only
if
way
they
it
had a
works.
pencil and a paper.
Yeah,
God
there
forbid.
you go. That'll work.
Yeah,
You
so
draw your
but
shape
yes,
just so that it
this
can't
Just
be
with a
this
interpreted.
whiteboard.
this version of Digimon cards is much more aligned to like Magic and Pokemon. So Magic more so than Pokemon even, because
I was gonna say maybe
Magic is
Yu-Gi-Oh like.
complicated.
Magic really isn't even that complicated if you.
More so
The
than
only-
other card
the
games. More so than
I
Complicated
don't
Pokemon.
part
know,
about
Pokemon's
Magic is
pretty
just
complicated.
the text on the
The
cards. Like,
detailed text sometimes in Magic
Yeah.
is a little more than Pokemon tends to be a little more straightforward, but
but that's how Yu-Gi-Oh is too on some of those like Magic spell cards.
yeah, but Digimon is definitely a little more complicated than Pokemon, but less complicated than Magic. But I love the art that they've done. They've introduced all the cards with like alternative art, so there's secret cards that you can get that have
I
like
always
for
like the Digimon card art.
for whatever reason, I got like in one of the packs that I bought, I got a War Greymon card, and I was like, "Oh man, this card looks really cool!" Like, and it just looked like a normal card. And then afterwards, when I was like, I should go through my list and see if I have any like really cool cards, I actually found out that the War Greymon card that I got was an alternate art version of that card, and it's worth like $60. And I was like, "Oh man, that's awesome!
Snap!
I have a cool card."
Oh, rolling in that money.
Oh yeah, buddy.
shit. Nice.
Then I have an awesome Omnimon card that's only worth like $6. So there's that.
That's cool.
I heard that the art for the new TCG is very reminiscent of the World 1 game. Like there's a lot of callbacks to it with like the main character, and like I know
Oh
one
yeah,
of the
yeah.
Metal Greymon cards has like the Metal Mamemon fight at the beginning of the game. That cool
Yeah.
CGI scene.
Yeah,
was
they have a
One thing I
lot
was
of.
wondering,
It's definitely there are certain cards that are obviously new, like newer Digimon, and it reflects as much. But they totally use a classic like art style with Digimon that you're more familiar with. Or every once in a while you'll see like a card that's like a newer Digimon, but they drew it like it was like the original art from back in 01. They're really cool. So you guys should get into it with me, so I don't feel like I'm the
I
only
played it
Digimon.
online a bit.
So you don't
There
feel
was
like
like this
a total dork?
website.
I just feel like I'm the only Digimon card
Card fan?
collector in the world. Yeah, I went to the local comic
Certainly
shop
in
and literally
Alaska.
they're like only buy two per customer, and they're like 3 full boxes in front of you. You're like, okay, I'll try to limit myself.
That might
That
just
was
be
because the Pokemon
shortages in
card.
all. They probably just put shorts on all card packs in general because of the shortage.
Yeah.
So I do remember it was something like the ink was not in supply, or there was like a slow that was a shortage. It was just in a shortage of ink. It was something like
I thought it was
silly.
just that it was because it got popular during
Yeah, it was
the
because
quarantine.
That's what it was.
Logan Paul did the thing, and then it all got popular,
Yeah,
and then
yes,
all
popular.
the cards got like emptied out.
Kind of
I was
So
gonna
even-
say, what's funny is you're saying that it was because there was a shortage, but I went online and I could buy like 3 boxes, and I ended up buying one of the boxes online. Just
Well, it was
going to, like,
Pokemon
Well, for
cards that
Pokemon
had the
cards.
shortage,
yeah.
not
So-
Digimon.
Not Digimon.
Oh my no!
That's why that was the
That's-
joke, is that the
that's funny you'd
Digimon
say
cards
that.
were like limited, and I was like, dude, no one's buying Digimon cards. So
As much as we love Digimon, we all have to admit that Pokemon, for whatever reason, is more popular. Even though in Pokemon, they are legitimate slaves to the Pokemon masters, and Digimon, they're Digimon partners.
It's more
No,
system
they're-
based. That's why it was more popular. Is because every game, like if you played one of the games, you could just pick up one of the other games and just be good at it. It's not like
okay, so
one of the Digimon games.
so if a Digimon, if a person died in the human world, does their partner Digimon die?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
this
What?
was shown with Malomyotismon at the end of 02 when he dies, but his Digimon survives.
Oh.
What?
Well, remember Malomyotismon was
No,
possessing a
Milestone
human?
was a Digimon.
Malomyotismon was
But he
possessing a
was a
human,
Digimon.
and he was draining his life force. And when they finally separated, he was so weak that he was like dying, and then he sacrifices
Yeah.
himself to give his energy to repair the digital world. And again, that was a really sad moment, admittedly, because his Pokemon is like, "But I finally found you. We finally met."
It's Pokemon.
Digimon,
Now you're all over the place.
Pokemon,
Digimon was like, "We finally met. We finally get to like hang out. I've been waiting for you." And he dies. He gives himself to the digital world.
It's like, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
And again, also an honorable mention to Black Lord Greymon in 02. I always felt Black Lord Greymon was awesome. So sad how he died and like sacrifices himself.
No one dies in 02. Name one character.
Well, the sad thing about
Digimon death.
Black Lord Greymon is when he dies, since he was like a legitimate human creation type thing, he is gone. Like he's dead.
Oh yeah.
Like he doesn't come back in a Digi-Egg like all the others. He's like he dispersed
Well, technically,
his data.
all Digimon are human creations.
I mean, technically.
Whoa. Whoa.
But you get my point, though. He has no like algorithm/code that brings him back. He just died.
Yeah.
Sad. This was cool.
Yeah.
Any other
Cool.
thoughts? Or are we just going off? Is this it?
Oh,
Is this how we end the
one
podcast?
thing I wanted to bring up that I will forever be like biased towards Pokemon in one sense is shiny Pokemon are the coolest thing that ever. Like just a rare
You
chance.
have shiny Digimon.
No,
You have
you
Patamon
don't.
and then Tsukaimon.
No,
and
those
you
are
have
those are literally
Saberdramon
the opposite
versus
of shinies.
Birdramon.
You get a Tsukaimon, you're like, damn it. They're the opposite of shinies.
You have Vegemon and red Vegemon, and then I think 2 other colors of Vegemon.
There's the purple virus Greymon you can get every time in the first
Blue
one.
Greymon.
Blue Greymon.
Blue Greymon.
He looks really purple.
In Cyber
Technically,
Sleuth, there's
that was-
Agumon. There's Agumon with a hat.
Yes,
There's
that was the
Professor
original
Agumon.
Greymon.
Yeah, shinies.
No, original
Yeah.
Metal Greymon was black. Original Greymon was still
Was he?
orange.
No. Original Metal Greymon was the virus Greymon. Yeah, and in
Oh,
Digimon World
okay.
1, normal Greymon was in the game. Blue
Oh, that's
Greymon
right.
was in Digimon World 2.
No, Blue
A funny
Greymon
thing
was
about the
in.
original Greymon
Oh wait, was he? Oh, I
his
guess he wasn't. Black Greymon wasn't in one. Yeah.
his model was the same in the front as the back, so you could see his titties from the back, and it looked really funny.
Wait, what? Who?
In Digimon World 1, the Greymon like model just had the same like front texture as the back texture, so he just had
Oh,
titties on both sides, and it was the funniest thing to look at if you like paid attention to
are you
it.
sure it wasn't
I,
supposed to be like shoulder blades?
No,
I'd have to
shoulder
look.
blade should not go.
Should not have rounded.
I didn't notice these things, Wesley, which is just a little
He's just looking for
concerning.
titties everywhere
Oh yeah.
on
Oh
Greymon's
yeah.
back. You name it.
Well, we did start him
Hey,
on
this
that anime train pretty quick. We know how
kinda
that
looks
fan
like.
service is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, I
gross.
got a little Izzy on my mic and I forgot.
Oh, what about how many of you guys have actually used a Digivice? The little like Tamagotchi Digivice
Oh,
Digimon.
that's like.
Totally
I
got
used
into
to
that
have
I
for a
one.
little bit.
Oh, like
I do
once and
have
I
it
want to get a
died.
vital
two.
bracelet.
I
It
have two
it
Tamagotchis
died.
right now.
It is as
I
much responsibility as an actual child. It is way too much
Yeah,
work.
Have you
I'm
guys
like,
heard of
I
I
the
am not
vital
waking up
bracelet?
early for you. What?
Have you heard of the vital bracelet? It's like a Fitbit that it's only in Japan right now, I'm pretty sure, but they're supposed to be making an English release, and I'm really excited because there's little DIM cards that you put in the Digivice or the vital bracelet, whatever. Yeah. And
Hmm.
each one has like a different Digimon that you can store on there, and you can like evolve it by doing workouts and such, and it like tracks
Oh,
your
I'd
heartbeat.
totally be into that.
But it like just there's a bunch of little dim cards that you can buy, and you can have like different Digimon on each dim card. So there's like a black Agumon dim card, and they're all based on rookies, and they all have like different trees. It's really cool.
Hmm, that's cool. That is cool. Why don't they have that here?
I don't know.
Let me get my workouts while I play
so
Digimon.
on
Please.
my two Tamagotchis, I was able to get Beelzemon on one finally, and I was just
Oh,
like,
nice.
all right, I'm done. And once it died, I was just like, well, took
I
a lot of
quit.
effort to get a Mega Digimon, so
Oh,
I'm
I
done.
found a guide that showed you how to do it, so I was able to
No,
get
I mean, I
Omegamon.
used the guide, but it takes so long. Like it's like
Oh yeah,
literal
it's like
like
legit a
a
month.
it's like a
An
week and a half
actual
before you
month.
can get, yeah. It took me like a
I'm
week
like,
and a half
wait,
before he digivolved from Ultimate to
what
Mega, and I
what
was
time
like,
did it
oh my
say it wakes
gosh.
up at? Yeah,
Yeah. And if you don't
I'm
wake up,
so
like seriously, if you don't wake up at the right time and like take care of it when it's like going off, you'll get those tamer mistakes and
yeah, you
it'll
won't get any
negatively
luck.
affect you. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, that's what
definitely
happened.
it's for real, man. He's not joking. It's like taking care of
Yeah,
a
Laura was
child.
like teasing me when I did it. She was like, I cannot believe you actually set an alarm so you can wake up and feed your Digimon.
That's
I
So
was like, stay out of
mine
this
was
as I
crazy.
roll out of bed to feed him.
mine. I turn the loud settings on so I'll like be asleep, and then like at like 6 o'clock in the morning, it's like, ding 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 ding. I was like, oh no, a tamer mistake! I gotta get up out of bed. Running
Yeah.
across the room
Yeah,
and
I
like
had that
make
at
sure
first,
he's
and then
fed
Laura
and
said
trained
she
all
was
the
gonna
way, and
break
then I'm
it.
like, all right, I'm going back to sleep for an hour.
She was like, you need to turn that down. I cannot hear that in the middle of the night. I was like,
Woody,
yeah,
Woody in real life.
yeah.
Woody, you need to feed your kids. The kids won't die in 10 minutes if I don't feed
They
them.
will be
He
fine.
will.
I already failed them. I won't fail
Do you know
Magumon.
how hungry my Greymon is right now? The kids can feed themselves.
They can make
This
their own
Greymon
macaroni
Here,
and
depends on
here
me.
you
cheese.
go, Greymon. There's your meat for today.
And that's how Woody's
I'll give you an
children's
extra special large
psychological
meat.
damage began.
Hey, they're fine. They can
I?
practically feed themselves now.
Yes, they're fine.
Not qu-
Quoting here, I didn't know snow could kill dogs.
I didn't know that. He was only like 4 when he said that. I can't blame him. He's
Wally's
not
played
wrong.
Wally's played the normal Mega Man games. I'm sure he'll be just fine.
That's true.
Yeah, he actually just beat X5 today.
That's impressive.
He started X6. Now, granted, he does do it on like it's like on the remakes with the rookie hunter mode, so it's like
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
ridiculously easy.
Not as
You
impressive.
take
But-
like literally
You
like
shouldn't have mentioned that.
half the damage.
Yeah. Well, I
Half
mean,
the
like, you know, him
damage,
only
and
being
then even more half the damage once you get like your armor or whatever. So it's like one tiny little bar every time you get hit by like
Little bar.
yeah, you can like beat anything, but still, you beat it. I'll give it to him. I'll give him credit.
Megan was playing Mega Man X1 on that, and I was like, and I didn't know this, and so she went up against like the octopus guy, and it was like her first choice of enemies to go fight against. I was like, "Oh, you are dead. You are not gonna survive this." And she like beat him with like half of her health left. I was like, "What is going on here?"
This is not fair. This is bullshit. You're like, he
She
killed me so many
deserves to
times.
be dead.
How dare you beat him on your first
Anyway,
try?
And that's why Digimon is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I agree.
Yeah,
And it's why it'll always be
'Cause,
better than Pokemon in my heart. Time.
But why isn't there a Digimon like X or Mega Man X game? Is beyond me. Or a MOBA, a Digimon MOBA. They just need to
Digimon
release a
MOBA would be
Digimon
cool.
MOBA and a Digimon side-scrolling game. That would be awesome.
if they released a Digimon MOBA, they'd just be told they're ripping off of Pokemon at that point. They
Not
can't
if it
do
was
that anymore.
better.
I know.
No, even then,
Yeah,
people
not
would just
if it
say
was
it's a
better.
ripoff. It just also, God, I don't know. I did the Pokemon MOBA.
Just bad taste in your
It's
mouth.
just such bullcrap. Yeah, I mean, like, have you ever seen how much a skin costs on that
I
game?
haven't. I haven't.
It's
checked
like
that.
it's
$30.
Beach
It's
outfit
$30.
absolutely absurd.
for an
Like,
inner
I'm like,
tube around
how,
my Machamp.
You could get like
how is
But
this?
think of
two
what-
skins on Smite for $30.
I can buy half
But
of a
think of-
Pokemon game at that
think
price.
of what a Terraforce would look like on a MOBA going against like Wormmon.
Dude,
Go use
Agumon
Terraforce
as a
with Wormmon.
jungler.
Oh,
Admittedly, yeah,
snap.
the evolving on the MOBA aspect, like every 3
Everyone
levels
starts
you
as a
evolve, you
rookie.
Digivolve,
Then champion
and
at
you
level
end as a
5.
Mega.
No,
Ultimate
everyone
Oh,
Fighter.
and you
starts
can even
in
change
training.
your tree changes based on like the
Like
your
the
the
gear
items,
that you
instead of
equip.
items, you
Yeah.
buy a
Everyone-
tree.
Everyone
No.
starts with an egg in it just sits
just,
there.
like,
You gotta like
uh,
tap the X button 200 times before it hatches.
Oh, jeez.
and then you have to use
No, but
the in bubbles to
Yeah, that's what I
defend
was
the.
gonna say. That in training, if you actually started with there and everyone just used bubbles, like all equal, and it was just like skill based, that would be so cool.
Yeah, I'm okay with them starting as rookies. I'll be honest.
I don't want to see in training or
Maybe
Digimon Egg.
in
It's like
training.
I don't want to see either of it.
2 hour-long MOBA matches just to reach ultimate.
Oh, I never get ultimate.
Megas.
They're always
Then
finished
Omega
by
Ultra
champion
is
level.
like
Not even-
another hour.
Yeah, I would do it. I guess I'd try it.
Anyway, so what's the episode that we're planning to do next week?
Oh, that takes me as a that blindsides me.
No, I felt like that was a perfect transition.
That was a perfect transition. I'm gonna applaud you for it. So smooth. I would say that it's either gonna be a platinum podcast episode on Elden Ring, because me and Woody have talked about how we feel that since we did that podcast and none of us were even, I'd say, more than 60% of the way through. There's a lot that we
Maybe
missed,
not
so
even
maybe.
halfway for me.
Or we're gonna do Strangers in Paradise, which has just come out. I actually just downloaded it.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah, I
I say
would
we
say
do
that one.
Stranger of Paradise.
Well, are you guys gonna beat Strangers of Paradise in a week?
No, but we'll at least play it, and then we
I
can
mean,
do a podcast.
I
of
would
us
say
playing.
let's finish Elden Ring, because I don't want anyone
Supposedly,
rushed.
supposedly the IGN review of
Oh, I didn't even see the
Stranger of
reviews.
Paradise. They said it got like an 8 out of 10, which is not bad,
Oh, that's
especially
actually
considering like where it's
Better
coming
than
from.
I was expecting it to be.
And yeah, and so they said that it's like a 40-hour playthrough game, which isn't long at all, in my opinion.
Well, you also
that's
have
what
to.
long normal
You
Dark
also
Souls
have to
is.
go in with, IGN, when they do reviews, they always do the reviews on like easy, so they always blaze through it.
No, this particular review was done on. She was like, I did this on chaos mode. I did all the extra activities.
Don't believe it.
I was able to finish the game in 40 hours. Okay, well,
I-
Oh
she
wait,
actually
she
said
did like
34
every.
hours.
Not
That's what
like
she
just
said, but
storyline.
That's what she said, and maybe I was watching it and I wasn't paying complete attention. It was like paying attention to like a cutscene in Final Fantasy Realm Reborn. So I don't know what was exactly. I don't know all the
It might have been
details,
for
but
a different game.
I heard 34 hours and all of the extra stuff as well. So I don't know if it was like I didn't complete all the extra stuff as well, or you know,
All right.
but
So
But we'll
I
be
did
Digimon
hear
covering
34
that
hours.
in
I did
our
those words.
next podcast, either
Next
Elden Ring
podcast.
or Strangers in Paradise. Tune in
So
to
I have a
find
day
out.
to finish Elden Ring,
Yes, you
in
have a day to
5
finish
days.
Elden Ring. Good luck.
and then 6 days
What?
to finish Stranger in Paradise. Got it.
Yes, you have 1 day exactly to finish Elden Ring.
Okay.
Wait.
Wesley, thank you
Yes.
for joining us today. We appreciate your insight.
Digimon
We hope-
is one of my favorite topics.
We hope to have you again when we go back into maybe some
Digimon Survive when it comes out.
more battle
Yeah.
games, like battle arena games, like what is it
Mm.
called?
The ones you hate?
Smite or not Smite. No, yeah, ones that I used to play and stopped because I'm just not good. Fortnite and stuff like that.
Oh,
I'm
Battle
sure we'll
Royale
eventually
games?
do a Fortnite. Yeah, battle royale.
I don't know if we'll ever do Fortnite. Fortnite's kind of gone downhill.
They removed
Dude, we used to
building.
like it.
All right.
Move
Anyway,
building.
we're going.
Wait,
Bye,
wait.
everyone. Oh,
Wait, this
okay,
changes the
never
game
mind.
entirely. Tell us more. What happened?
Ugh.
Just what? Is it a mode or what? Is it a different
The
mode?
start of the season, I don't know if it's permanent or not, but they removed building.
Oh, did they? Oh,
Dude, now's the time to shine, boys. I say we.
I don't know if it's permanent.
I almost don't believe you.
Now is the
I'm
time.
gonna have to check.
There's only one way to find out. You know what?
Good
You know what? You know what's cheaper than buying Stranger in Paradise and playing it?